Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Ink Report. I'm Justin.
And I'm Ken.
And this is episode 2. Very excited to bring you the newest deck lists that have happened over the weekend. And let's just get right into that. We saw GenCon happen in Indianapolis.
Yep.
There was a CCQ, first time they've had actually 2 invites to Continentals. So let's go through the 2 winning deck lists.
And the deck list will be right down here.
Yeah. So up first we had Lucas. He's a 14-year-old, and he was on Ruby Amethyst. So let's go over that deck list.
Yeah, so Lucas, 14-year-old, that is incredible.
Yeah.
I just want to highlight that one more time. That is incredible. Great job, Lucas. I don't want to sit across the table from you. So this list is leveraging, a lot of the evasive package that we're seeing out there, but obviously has some cool and unique tech. As we go down the list, we're seeing things like Louisa Madrigal, Peter Pan. Those are becoming what we are seeing as kind of common and staples with their respective shift targets, Mr. Incredible, etc. One of Headless Horseman, that's a good card. Boosts up all your characters plus strength when it does take out something, so that's great. And then the big thing that I'm noticing that's different is the singular broken pod.
Yeah, that's a very unique addition, but it's really relevant for what has happened this week.
Yeah, you look at the Circle of Life decks, what Broken Pod will do is you pay 2 ink and exert it, and it will take a card from your opponent's discard and put it at the bottom of their deck. So every time you see them play that Bobby or, I always mess up his name.
Bollier.
Yeah. Whenever Galen, whenever they're playing that card or the other cards and they're putting something in their discard, you get to go ahead and remove that threat. So you kind of reduce the impact of Circle of Life. Yeah. So really nice tech.
Was it cost 1 to exert the item and then you put it underneath?
I said 2. That was a mistake.
Yeah.
Overpaying.
Still, same thing.
Yeah. So great deck. Card draw through Demona, through Colors of the Wind, and of course Dumbo. So, and Hades,
Mr. Incredible too. I mean, this has so many shift lines. It has the Louisa shift line. It has the Mr. Incredible shift line. It has the Peter Pan, Tinkerbell evasive shift line. And so it makes sense that they're running 4 copies of Morph in this deck. I mean, I'm sure that put in a lot of work this weekend.
Yeah. And don't forget that Mrs. Incredible trigger at the start of your turn. Before you draw to announce what you're doing. We did hear an unfortunate event that happened last week. So somebody lost their win because of such. And, it happens. So we've all been there. But great deck. And again, awesome work, Lucas.
Yeah, great job. And then we had the co-winner, I guess we could say it, on the same ink colors, Ruby Amethyst. Similarities in the deck, but then there are a lot of differences at the same time.
Yeah, so this is Elrathian. It looks like we're leveraging a remote Inkland's location. I had to zoom in and read it, and I have to continue to do so. So it costs 2 to move to it, costs 2 to play it. It is inkable, and it has 6 toughness. Toughness, right?
Willpower.
Willpower. I always get them wrong. You have to say banish, not destroy. So at the start of your turn, though, this card says, put the top card of your deck into your discard. Challengers at this location are going to get +2 strength while there. Yeah. So really giving yourself a nice little strength boost, which, probably pretty needed. Just be careful for those Gastons on the other side.
That's very true. Very true.
The other things I'm noticing, unlike the other deck that Lucas played, we are using the Junior Woodchuck Guidebook, one of my favorites. We are leveraging 2 of the Ursulas. She's a 4/5 that you can boost and gives evasive and extra lore pips. This card is very well positioned with all the Gastons, World's Greatest Criminal Minds, and the one that gets rid of 3 or less.
Yeah, the Red Alert.
Red Alert. There you go. Thank you for the assist.
Anything with the 4 strength is kind of safe right now. And it seems like.
And then swing on over to the Hercules. Hercules is starting to see a lot more play since rotation. I'm very excited to see that. Again, leveraging the Dumbo, but this one has Violet Parr, Liquidator, and then Randall Boggs. And you want to touch on Randall Boggs? I don't even know what this card does.
This is kind of an MVP of the week. This has kind of turned the Ruby decks into more of an aggro style deck in some ways. Randall Boggs costs 2, but and is also evasive, but the interesting thing about Random Bogs is when you use all your ink, he gains an extra lure. So instead of questing for 1 as an evasive, he actually quests for 2. So he comes down on turn 2, perfectly on curve. So as long as you can use all your ink, you are getting 2 lure from a 2-cost character, which is really, really good. The only thing negative about Random Bogs is he has a 1 willpower, which we know a certain queen can kind of ruin your plans very quickly with that.
Yeah, you want to be careful with that Eleanor.
Yeah.
So great deck. Congratulations to El Rathion and Lucas for the GenCon CCQ performance. Quite incredible.
Yeah.
So moving on, we have the Asia CQ that was over in Thailand.
Yeah.
So you want to talk about the color pairing and what that deck was about?
Yeah, so this was the largest tournament of the week.
Nice.
And we saw that Amber Emerald, Princess Aggro, I guess it's kind of been coined, yeah. Did come on top. But there are a few differences in this list compared to lists that we saw last week.
Okay. So first thing I see is a Finnick, one of.
Yeah.
Nice. Spicy.
It is. That was a great card in last set with the dogs before the Eleanor was kind of figured out. That is a great way to disrupt your opponent, to remove that threat. It's great in basically any matchup. I can't think of a matchup that he's not great in. The only downside with Finnick is that it is 2 strength or less.
Yeah.
So it isn't, I guess, necessarily in the upper decks, the upper cards, the more strength that you get. But this deck is winning before turn 6 anyway, so you're not really too concerned about that.
I see Finnick, and I see something like this teched in, and I see an easy way to stop those singers by bouncing them back to your opponent's hand. That's amazing and great. You can even bounce back some of the Ruby cards that get out there that are not boosted yet.
Right.
Like the O3s and such. So just a great way to shift that tempo and kind of create a little more room to get your aggro plan fully into effect. The other thing we're seeing is the Mushu. Interesting inclusion.
Yeah.
We've seen this a few times now. It's a 3/2 evasive. When your opponent has more cards than you and you quest, you do get to draw a card, and it has no restrictions. So it doesn't have to be a character or an action or an item. So it's just simply draw a card. And then utilizing the Mickey Mouse to give +2 toughness, willpower.
So, actually, this is using the other Mickey Mouse, the one that reduces the strength. So, they both essentially kind of do the same thing, but this is on quest. As long as Mickey is exerted, you can reduce the strength by 2. So that does pair nicely with the Finnick, but that also does protect your board. So this not only is using the Pocahontas protector shift package, but this is also a way to just completely make your opponent's board down to 0. You can freely quest, and that's basically what you're trying to do with this deck, is to get as many quests off as fast as possible.
It also works in conjunction with Eleanor because it can come in exerted.
That's true.
So you can do the thing. Maybe you have an Eleanor, another character out. Go ahead and exert that character through, maybe a quest, reducing somebody else's strength, and then Eleanor quest, and boom, you're off to the races, and you get your free damage, lore, and a draw of a card.
Yeah.
Pardon me.
So it's a pretty standard that we've seen the last couple of weeks. It's a very powerful deck. It's a very good deck. I know that we both play it quite a bit, and I think for right now this is the deck to beat. And now there are counters to it, but right now we are still seeing that this list is still topping major tournaments still.
Yeah, nice. All right, so moving on to Ink, the 2K. Mike, part of Sailor's group, did take this down. This deck looks very clean, straight up 4 ofs, not seeing anything outside of what we've already seen out there.
Yeah.
Really leveraging the Rapunzels to bounce at a 4 of this time. Maybe that's the spiciness. It's 4 of Dale, very standard. This deck is just mean and getting down to business and doing what it does. Great job to Mike. I mean, 2 Amber Emerald go wide princess aggro decks, taking down 2 big events. That's great.
Yeah, and what I like about this is this is going to be super consistent. You are going to see the cards that you need. Hopefully you see them in the right order, but for the most part, you are going to see what you need. And I think that when you have this aggro, when you are trying to find certain cards to make your, to flood the board as fast as possible, this is a really good way to do that.
The only thing that I've found that can be a little bit of a thorn is when you play Nani looking for something and you pass through all the cards you wanted.
Yes.
But you're in that position where you have to because you're missing your card draw component.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than getting a Dale, Eleanor, and a Rapunzel, or a Pocahontas. Yeah. Those are the 4 worst cards that you can find flipping over.
Yeah. Okay. So
and then finally, for the last major tournament of the week, we went down to South Florida to the ROK 2K, and Hector took it down with Amber Emerald, but not the aggro version. Tell me about this version.
Yeah, so this is leveraging a lot of characters that have the ability to sing for above their cost, by way of Alana Dale, Ursula Vanessa, Malin Lee, etc. And then it leverages the Circle of Life package. And so what it's trying to do is that mean and malicious, scary, one-sided board wipe with Prince Philip. Yeah. You're trying to draw some cards, be able to utilize a Bobby or some of your other cards and put a Prince Philip or even a Big Stitch into your discard pile. And then that way later on you can build up enough singers to pull off the combo or bring out that Stitch and just, flood the board with really big characters. It's also leveraging Chernobog.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about this card. This is starting to see, we briefly saw it at the end of last meta, but it's really starting to see a lot more play now. What makes this card so special?
Yeah, so 5 cost uninkable, but when you go ahead and play this card, you get to bounce any character to your opponent's deck.
Okay.
And so they then, in return, and it's a response and a condition of the card, get to play anything from their discard that's a character only. So one of the great things is on curve, getting this Chernobog out, disrupting your opponent before anything has hit the discard that matters to you or just simply doesn't. You get to then completely turn the tempo, and it quests for 2.
Right, and I imagine in this deck you're not doing much challenging, at least early on.
No, I think you want to stand upright. You want to establish the fact that you want to draw out as much removal from your opponent as you can, weather that storm, and then pull off the combos or just deploy really big characters that change the tempo. You also have a Milo Thatch, the 5/5 with Ward that quests for 3. It also has that ability to bounce characters to your opponent's hand. So you're just doing a lot of big, mean things. So you start off really small, kind of go wide-ish, setting yourself up for what essentially becomes the end game, and just for a very quick win. This is not an easy deck to pilot. No. You're gonna need some reps into it. Unlike the Amber aggro, it's take a few less reps.
Yeah.
But once you get there, I saw you zoom in on the.
Yeah. This is something that I've seen a few times, but we haven't really seen it in many lists. Is the Retro Evolution device. So this device allows you to pay 1 to banish a chosen character, but then you can play a character 2 cost or more for free, essentially. So this deck, if you look at it, there's a lot of skipping numbers. Like we don't have a lot of 6 cost characters. We don't have a lot of 4 cost characters. It looks like we have 3, 5, and 7, and then of course 9 for Prince Philip. And so using this device to be able to cheat out characters for super cheap it's pretty nice. This combo is great with Sully.
Yep.
This combo is great with so many of these cards in this deck. And that's a really interesting piece of tech that I think is very useful.
Yeah, something that I've seen playing some games is I'm seeing the 3 cost Exert go ahead and maybe sing an Akuta Moody or something to that effect, and then this Evolution Chamber's out. They go ahead and they do the thing where they banish it. Boom, they bring out the Chernobog. The Chernobog then bounces the opposing character to their deck, just creating a massive tempo swing. On the next turn, they can then either quest or challenge with that Chernobog or sing, whatever they're inclined to do, and then go ahead and do the chamber yet again. Boom, here comes a Milo. 5/5 with Lord, 3 Lord pips. And as long as you meet some conditions, you get some card draw. You also get the bounce opponent characters their hand. Again, strengthening your board all while controlling that tempo. And if you really want to the following turn, you can hard cast a Mean and Malicious or sing it with Milo and then banish it again and get that Prince Philip. It's fun and it does a lot of unfair things. So maybe not fun for the opponent.
No. So, not for sure not. So I thought what we'd do is, why don't you take this list right here, the Amber Emerald songs, and I will take Lucas's winning deck list from CCQ, and let's give it a try and see what happens.
All right, before we cut to going in and matching up and playing, there is one more list I do want to cover.
Okay.
Because this was one of the first week performing lists. It's very similar. It's Ruby Amber, and this event was at Top Choice Gaming, and Ego Dre took it down. This one is similar from a lot of perspective, but it's also different. Do you want to run us through some of the key cards that are different from maybe Humble's list?
Yeah, so the first thing, we have our 3-cost Sully. When you play this character, you may exert all cards in your inkwell. Okay, and
I've never seen it either.
Yeah, I'm double checking this, and then while the cards in your inkwell are exerted, this character gains rush. So this is also, having the big shift targets of Sully and Boo, things like that. So that does synergize with that. But yeah, I have not seen that that has not been in Humble's list. That's a very big difference, but Rush is never a bad thing.
Right, Rush is never a bad thing, and I'm sure it did a lot of work against those go wide decks, or maybe some of those Singer decks that went ahead and turned. You just go ahead and deploy this, that way you can kind of control that tempo a little bit. What is that?
And then the time to go, it's a 3-cost action.
Okay.
Banish chosen character of yours and draw 2 cards. If the character had a card underneath them, then you get to draw 3 instead. So we look back to our Sully and Boo. This synergizes with that because not only you're able to draw 3 cards if you banish Sully and Boo, but then you're also able to bring back Sully, which then also brings back Sully and Boo. So
Love it.
That's really, really fun right there.
Do the thing, Ego Dre. I wish I would have seen some of this gameplay. This looks like it can pull off a lot of things. It does still leverage Raging Storm as a 3-of. Love to see going down on numbers and kind of fitting in some different tech. Looks like a very fun deck, and a lot of when you look at this deck, and you'll see it on the screen, all the numbers are all over the place, and those decks you can just tell have been really tinkered with and tweaked.
Yeah.
So let's quit rambling now and
let's
go throw some cards.
All right, sounds good.
All right.
Okay, so this red purple is we just kind of want to curve out as much as we possibly can. So we have our 1. Scrooge is great for 2. Cheshire Cat 3.
Maybe keep a red alert here. Maybe Singer Destruction.
Yeah, we don't necessarily know what you're playing, but I do know.
Well, I've got the 1-drop, putting a Philip in the discard, so that's good. On 2, got the 4 Singer. I think that's good. Todd lets me cycle cards. These are doing the same thing, but this searches more, so I think I take that. I mean, honestly, outside of Sully, do you see a reason not to? I mean, maybe I should go right. Maybe keep these and just allow the card recursion to happen.
All right, so I'll do 3. So I got a Nakuda. Now I have a way to get rid of your Isis. That's always, or the Isis.
Oh, yeah, that's
all right. So I'm up first. What I'm going to do is I really need to be able to stop your Singers. So what I'm going to do, I do like Peter Pan. I do have the opportunity to shift it, but I think right now getting Luisa in play is more important. So I will ink Peter Pan, play Luisa, and that's a Geo.
All right, ready, set, draw. I want to play out Bobby, and I want to get Prince Philip into the discard pile. That way later on I can circle life and do some really nasty things. So I think here I'm going to ink the Todd in favor of keeping Gaetan Catan. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Play Bobby, draw for Bobby's effect, and then discard. And I clearly want to get rid of the Philip. So draw Mr. Incredible.
All right, so this seems pretty easy. We're gonna ink Mr. Incredible. It'd be nice to get the shift later on, but I don't think we need to worry about that right now. We'll get Scrooge into play. You don't really have a way to do anything with Bobby, so I think I'm free to quest for one, and then pass to you.
Ready, set. All right, so I drew a Malon Lee for turn. I'm gonna, because I have two, I'm gonna ink the Malon Lee and establish Ursula Vanessa. That way I have another singer. I'm not gonna take the bait and swing in or quest. So in this scenario, I'll just pass.
Okay. Ready my ink. All right, so in this matchup, our goal is to control the singers. Right now, Ursula's a threat. She sings for 4. Next turn, you could possibly put something down from and already sing the combo or Circle of Life to bring. Yeah, so it's really important that my next turn I can go between these. I like establishing characters. So what I think I'll do, since I have 2 red alerts, I'm going to ink a red alert. We'll go ahead and put the cat into play, so I can also bounce damage around when I need to. If you want to turn into my characters, I am okay with that. And so what I'll do is I'll quest for 2 and then pass it to you.
Ready, set. All right, I'm in a tough spot here because I got the pieces. I already have Prince Philip in my discard. I got the Circle of Life. I got the MMS, Malicious, Mean, and Scary. So I'm going to go ahead and ink Gaten, Moliere, and play out Malon Lee. When you play this character, look at the top 4, reveal a red panda card or a song card, and put it into your hand. So I only have one choice, Circle of Life.
So now I see that you have Circle of Life in your hand.
Yep, and I got Prince Philip over there. And then these go back in any order, right?
On the bottom deck.
All right, I know you're going to most likely Isis next turn, but I think I want to make you work for it and not give you any opportunities. That's why I did not accrued first to draw a card and bring out a character. So in this scenario, I'll just pass.
Miss Incredible is a great card, but I need to control the singers. I think the best way to do that is to be able to keep Red Alert and Isis for future use. We use Isis this turn, and drawing the unequal was painful, so I will have to ink Mrs. Incredible, but I think that's the best way to control what you're doing. So ink Mrs. Incredible for a turn. For 4, I will play Isis, exerting Ursula. She's the highest cost singer. Now I will need to challenge in with 2 characters to be able to clear this, but I don't really care too much. So we will go ahead and use Scrooge and Louisa to challenge into Ursula. I'm taking 1 back. Malin Lee could challenge into Louisa next turn. I actually want him to do that because then I can just clear that. So he's not going to be able to do that. Okay, ready. Set, draw. Oof, another Sully. I drew a Sully for turn. I don't have a 4-drop, so I can't continue to curve. I am going to go ahead and use Malon Lee to sing a coup to Moody. Draw a card off of that, and the next character I play costs 2 or less. So I think in this situation, because I have an extra Circle of Life, and my opponent is on red-blue, or red-purple, excuse me, you don't have to worry about song removal. Yeah.
So I will go ahead and tap 3 to play a Sully, trigger the Sully effect. I'm going to bring back the Ursula. And I know I'm going to lose Malon Lee. but I'm building up for that turn to take
draw. All right, so I know that you pulled back a Vanessa, Ursula Vanessa, so I need to remove that immediately with this. So I need to keep this red alert. So even though I drew a great card, I'm going to have to, unfortunately, ink Peter Pan and Tinkerbell. So we'll do this. Now, my goal is to stop Sully from challenging. So if I can put 2 damage on him, that means that it's going to be an auto banish however he challenges. So what we'll do is first challenge with Isis into Malin Lee, putting 2 damage. I will then use 2 ink, and I will move the 2 damage to Sully. I will then use a boost undamaged Scrooge right here. And I'm not going to quest because I don't want to give you any free trades. If you want to take out Isis, that's fine. So then I will pass my turn.
Okay. Ready, set, draw. Turn. Okay, so what I'm going to do, because I brought back the Ursula Vanessa and I had an extra one, I'm going to ink it. I did draw the Chernabog. There's nothing in Justin's discard that can come back to play for free. So I will bring out the Chernabog. And I'm going to bounce an uninkable card back to Justin's hand because he's only got 1. And it'll be the damaged Scrooge. I don't want to give any additional value. I don't want to put the Isis back in. And swinging Bobby into Isis will do nothing. I don't want to turn Bobby because I don't want Louisa to have 2 damage to move to Sully. What I'm really looking to do next turn is hard cast Mean and Malicious. Use these 2 to sing Circle Life and bring back Prince.
Okay, Headless Horseman was not a great draw. It's another uninkable, so that's a little painful. I'm going to be completely board wipe next turn, so I'm going to take the points while I can. So what I'll do is I'll first, I will go ahead and move 1 damage over to Sully. And I'm not going to play any other characters because they are just going to go away next turn. So we'll just take the points while we can. Quest draw. Another Circle of Life.
All right, so in this situation, I have the combo. The way I was playing was kind of leading on to the fact I had the combo. So I will ink the Ursula Vanessa, going to 6 ink. I will hard cast Mean and Malicious Scary, doing 1 damage to everything. And then I will use Sully and Chernabog to Circle of Life a Prince Philip.
I'll bash.
Banishing Justin's board. And then I will send Bobby on a quest. And that's my turn. Pass.
All right. Well, this is where I'll get interesting. So drew the Peter Pan, and when I play this, chosen opposing character can't ready at the start of their next turn. So when Ken quest with Prince Philip, at least I can slow him down a little bit. I also need to get some strength in there to start banishing some of his characters. So I also like Red Alert, just in case something comes back that I can go ahead and take care of. Having the Scrooge on ink was really hurting me, but I think I'm going to skip ink this turn. Now I'll just use all 5, play Headless Horse, draw another Philip.
For this turn, I'm not really worried about inking anymore. It would be nice to get another Prince Philip out and to go to that point, but I think I'm setting up a trap with questing here for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, go to 7. Sully and Bodyguard.
Set, draw. All right, we're definitely going to get Peter Pan in place, so we'll use 2 for Peter Pan. And we'll target Prince Philip, so he can't ready until the start of the next turn. We're going to get Scrooge in play. We'll go ahead and boost him. I am going to take out Sully, because I need to slow you down. Now the question is to ink red alert or not. I'm going to wait on this. I can always ink if I need to, so I think I'll just pass then. Set, draw, Sully.
All right, so for turn, I drew a Sully. I'm just going to go ahead and Sully into. So I will go ahead and ink Circle of Life for turn, just to get to that 9. Yeah, I'm just going to quest and be greedy and make you have it.
Draw. So I've been taking off turns of inking. This is not looking great for me, so I think I'm just going to go ahead and ink the red alert. So now he's a 5/5. I can take out everything but Prince Philip. But here's where I'm thinking is I have the Peter Pan shift. I can make the big Scrooge. I can make Scrooge a 6/6 next turn and take out Prince Philip. I could be very greedy and exert Sully, take out Sully. Scrooge does survive that challenge. And Charenbog could challenge into Scrooge and take out both, which is not great for Ken, but it does protect his Prince Philip if he's worried about that shift line. If I don't do that, then that's another 6 lore next turn, and this is not looking good. So I think I'm going to go with that risky move because I need to make a big play, I think. So for 4, play Isis, exerting Sully, and Scrooge will take out Sully.
So I drew an Under the Sea. I'm not really happy with that. So what I'm thinking about doing here is playing another Sully in bodyguard mode to protect my Chernabog and my Philip. I do know there's a risk of the shift Peter, but I think I'm just going to play into that, letting my opponent, Justin, wipe my board if he does. So now I will pay an extra 1 for a Bobby. This Under the Sea is a dead card, so I'll draw for Bobby. Prince Philip will take out Scrooge. Quest for 2 with Cherna. And I can't ink, so pass.
All right, this is a bad situation. I have to stop Prince Philip, and it's going to cost me a lot, I think. So what we'll do first is I'll challenge Isis, Sully with Isis. Then use 4 to shift Peter Pan, evasive, and taking out Prince Philip. And, all right, erase it, draw. Mean and Malicious, that doesn't matter. I drew a Mean and Malicious Gary. My opponent has nothing on their side of the board, so I feel pretty good about this play line of exerting 5 for a Sully. The Sully effect will bring back a Prince Philip. This way, next turn, if I have to, I can ink a Prince Philip and play Prince Philip. But I'm pretty sure that this is in the history books. Colors of the Lens. I have to have characters to challenge, so, I mean, it's not going to be it's a no-brainer. I'm going to have to use 5. Play Mrs. Incredible. Could ink Colors of the Wind. I don't think I need to worry about that. Draw. All right, so I drew an angel. So I'm going to go ahead and ink the angel, establishing another Prince Philip. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then I'm just going to go on a quest for 4, going to 18. This should be game over. Okay, Mrs. Incredible will be evasive this turn.
Okay.
Draw. All right, we are going to... there's really nothing I can do, but let's just see what we can do. So we'll do Colors of the Wind. So everybody reveals top card. I get to draw 2 cards. So 1. But yeah, I can take out Sully. Sully survives, but it really doesn't make a difference. Set, draw, question.
Welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back. So just to a quick ending for today. I want to thank everybody that did watch our first episode. It's always nerve-wracking in some way to put yourself out there and try something new. But we both love this game. We both play it daily, and this is just a way for us to take it a little bit further and
share our experiences.
Yeah, exactly.
And share what we're learning, because we're learning with you all.
Yeah,
you know.
So if there's something that you think that we should improve on, or something that we could do better, or if there's something specifically that you've seen, maybe a certain deck that you've seen out there, or maybe a certain matchup that you are struggling with, please leave a comment. Please let us know, and we will definitely get to that and help you guys out. Because like what we said in the first episode was that we want to share our experiences, our knowledge that we have through our practice and everything like that, to you out there that would like to be better, would like to improve. And we're not saying we're experts or anything like that, but we do have a lot of reps into a lot of different decks. So anything we can do to help you, we really would like to do that.
And if you see a play line in some of our gameplay that you think is an alternate choice and maybe a better choice, please, by all means, critique us, criticize us. We're here for it. Like Justin said, we're not experts. We aspire to be, but I don't know anybody who's an actual expert at card games with all the infinite choices. But we just we want to hear back from you and engage with you as best as possible and make this content the best it can be for you all and ourselves. So thank you all for watching episode 2, and can't wait to talk to you all next week.
Yep, excellent. See ya.
Take care.